OpenClaw 2026.145 update. You set up your AI assistant. You thought it was done. It's already missing things that could save you hours every week. Seriously. Tools are moving fast. If you're not keeping up, you're falling behind. And most people have no idea what just dropped. The day that changes. What's up? I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie. Help people learn and actually use AI tools in their work. And today we're breaking down the OpenClaw 2026.45 update. This just dropped on April 6, 2026. It is one of the biggest releases this project has ever shipped. Over 100 contributors. And the changes in this one are not small. So let's get into it. Heads up, I'm going to cover the most important things first. We're going to talk about brand new tools that got added, a big experimental memory feature you need to know about, provider updates, security fixes, and some things that actually broke. And if you stay until the end, I'll show you where to go to keep learning and using all of this. Stick around. But first, what even is OpenClaw? If you're new here, OpenClaw is an open source personal AI assistant. Runs on your machine, Mac, Windows, or Linux. You connect it to your favorite chat app, WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, Slack, whatever you're already using. And it handles real tasks. Clears your inbox, checks your calendar, runs background automation, browses the web. From your phone or computer. Works with Anthropic, OpenAI, local models, you name it. And it's completely free and open source. GitHub repo just hit 349,000 stars. This is one of the fastest growing projects in this space right now. Right, let's talk about what's new in 2026.45. Headline feature here is media generation. For the first time, OpenClaw now has a built-in video generation tool. It's called video_generate. You can generate videos directly from your agent using xAI's Grok Imagine Video, Alibaba's Model Studio One, or Runway. You just ask your assistant to make a video and it handles the whole thing. That is a huge addition to what this tool can do. Alongside that is music generation, also built in. New music_generate tool is now bundled with OpenClaw. It comes with Google Lyria and Minimax as default providers. You can also hook it up through ComfyUI workflows if you're already running that. Music generation tool tracks async tasks, so when a track is ready, it delivers it directly in your chat. You don't have to go check somewhere else. It shows up right where you're already talking. And while we're talking about ComfyUI, this update adds a full bundled plugin for it. You can run local ComfyUI workflows or Comfy Cloud workflows, handles image generation, video generation, and music generation all through the same plugin. If you're already using ComfyUI, this is a really clean integration. Here's the thing I'm most excited to tell you about. I want to make sure you pay attention here because this one's a big deal. OpenClaw just added an experimental feature called memory dreaming. This is early and they call it experimental. The concept is wild. Basically, your agent now has 3 phases. It runs in the background, deep and REM. Each phase has its own schedule. And the goal is to let your assistant take notes you've shared with it over time and promote them into durable, long-term memory. Things you tell your assistant actually stick around and get smarter over time. There's a /dreaming command. There's a dream diary UI. There's multilingual support for conceptual tagging. And you can even preview what your agent is about to remember using the REM preview tools. This is going to change how people think about personal AI assistants. We'll definitely be doing a deeper video on just this feature. So make sure you subscribe because that one's coming. Let me tell you about the control UI. Dashboard that you use to manage everything got a massive update in this release. So they added 12 new languages to the UI. Simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, Brazilian Portuguese, German, Spanish, Japanese, Korean, French, Turkish, Indonesian, Polish, and Ukrainian. If you were waiting for your language to show up, this is the update you've been waiting for. They also added ClawHub directly inside the skills panel. ClawHub is the community hub where people share skills and plugins. Before this update, you had to go to a separate site to browse and install skills. You can search for skills, read the details, and install them directly inside your control UI dashboard. That's a much smoother workflow. Here's where I want to pause and share something with you. When I first started using OpenClaw, I was completely overwhelmed. Every update added more features. Every week, something changed. Didn't know which workflows were actually worth my time. That's when I created a community called AI Profit Boardroom, with over 2,000 members all focused on learning AI together and sharing what actually works. It taught me which setups save time and which ones just eat your afternoon. Everyone shares real workflows, real use cases, what's actually working in their day-to-day. If you're serious about using AI tools like OpenClaw in your work, check it out. Link in the description. Right, back to the update. Let's talk about new providers. This release added bundle support for Qwen, Fireworks AI, and Stepfun as chat providers. That means you can now use these directly in OpenClaw without having to manually configure anything complicated. They're just there. They also added Minimax TTS for speech, Ollama web search so your locally hosted models can search the web, and Minimax search as a bundled web search option. Amazon Bedrock users got some big improvements too. There's now a bundled mantle support layer that handles auto-discovery and automatic AWS IAM authentication. Works with Claude models, GPT, Qwen, Kimi, GLM, and more, all running through Bedrock. And Amazon Bedrock embeddings for memory are now supported, covering Titan, Cohere, Nova, and 12 Labs models. If you're in an AWS environment, this is a real improvement. Now let's talk about channel improvements because there are several that matter here. OS users can now get push notifications for execution approvals. When your agent wants to run a command and needs your OK, it sends a notification directly to your iPhone. You tap it, it opens the approval modal in the app, and you can approve or deny right there. That's a much better experience than having to go check your terminal. Matrix users now have native execution approval prompts too. If you're running OpenClaw through a Matrix server, approvals now show up as native Matrix messages. More workarounds. Telegram, there were several fixes. Voice notes in direct messages were broken where they'd show up as raw placeholders. That's fixed. Model Picker had issues. Reactions would lose their ownership after restarts. There's a lot of Telegram polish in this update. WhatsApp, the block streaming option was broken. That's back. And Watchdog timeouts after reconnect were also fixed, so quiet chats stopped getting stuck in reconnect loops. On Discord, they fixed reply tags leaking into chat as visible text. They also fixed the proxy routing for REST and webhook traffic, fixed image generation replies pointing at missing files, and raised the media cap to 100 megabytes to match Telegram. And on Slack, DM replies were disappearing in certain situations. That's fixed. Now let's talk about prompt caching. This is a technical change, but it matters because it directly affects how much you spend on API calls and how fast your agent responds. This update did a lot of work to make prompt cache hits more reliable, made sure tool definitions stay in consistent order. They normalized system prompt formatting, so the same content always looks the same to the cache. They also moved heartbeat.md below the cache boundary, so regular heartbeat updates don't break the cache on every turn. The result is that your agent should hit the cache more often, and your API costs should go down. They also added cache diagnostics, an OpenClaw status with the verbose flag, and you'll see exactly whether your cache is working and where it's breaking. Let me quickly cover the breaking change in this update because it's important if you're already running OpenClaw. Some legacy config options were removed. Things like talk.voiceID, talk.API agents, sandbox.possession, and some old channel allow toggles. If you have these in your config, they'll stop working. The good news is you don't have to manually figure out the new paths. Just run OpenClaw doc-to-fix and it will migrate your config automatically. But you need to do this. Don't skip it. There was also a big round of security hardening in this update. Begin allow lists got tighter. Browser SSRF redirect bypasses are now blocked earlier. Vice pairing was made stricter, so non-admin sessions can only manage their own devices. Gateway plugin routes now stay on write-only scopes unless a trusted proxy caller says otherwise. And several Claude CLI environment variable leaks were closed, so background runs can't be silently redirected to unexpected backends. This is one of the most security-focused releases OpenClaw has shipped. But to recap the big things from 2026.4.5, video generation is now built in. Music generation is now built in. Redreaming is experimental but real. ControlUI now supports 12 new languages. ClawHub is integrated directly into the skills panel. New providers for Qwen, Fireworks AI, and Stepfun. Big Bedrock improvements. Prompt caching is more reliable. OS and Matrix got native approval notifications. And there are a huge number of bug fixes across Telegram, Discord, WhatsApp, Slack, and Matrix. One breaking config change that you need to handle with OpenClaw doc-to-fix. To update, just run npm install -g OpenClaw at latest, and then run OpenClaw doctor. That's it. If you're looking to dive deeper into AI tools and actually implement them in your work, I recommend AI Profit Boardroom. Over 2,000 people learning how to use AI effectively. Everyone shares real experiences. What's working? What's not? Which tools are worth your time? Which ones to skip? Hype. Just solid information and practical guidance from people doing the work. It's helped me stay on top of updates like this one and figure out how to actually apply them. Link in the description if you want to check it out. And if you want the full process SOPs and over 100 AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 58,000 members who are using AI in their work every day. That's it for today. If this was helpful, hit like, drop a comment with what feature you're most excited about from this update, and I'll see you in the next one.